Hello everybody, welcome back to Expedition Homestead. My name is Ripley. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to the channel today. We're going to be talking about our chicken coop and specifically in terms of heating with this chicken coop. You know, here in southeastern Wisconsin, we have many days that are sub-zero in temperature, so that can get rather cold. So our chicken's going to need heat. You know, this chicken coop alone just cost me $800 to build last spring because the prices of lumber, I don't have to tell you, are going through the roof and probably aren't going to stop anytime soon. So there's already quite a bit of upfront costs in terms of building this just to get a few eggs per day, because here we've just got 6 chickens. So obviously there's not going to be a whole lot of financial return. It does return a lot as far as my experiences go in our backyard and our homestead and starting to build a little bit of sustainability for our family. That is very rewarding, but financially rewarding, not so much. So now I've got to think, you know, am I going to have to get a heater for this thing? Is it going to cost me even more money to heat during the winter, and then the upfront cost of buying that material itself, buying the heater? You know, is this going to cost me another 100, 150 bucks a year? Oh man, that would be a bummer if it did, but no, it really doesn't. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in here. Hi, ladies. Hey. All right, they're probably gonna start hopping out of here because they love exploring in the backyard, even while it's rather cold outside. So as you can see, I do have one heat lamp in here. The heat lamp costs about 15, 20 bucks. Actually, to be totally honest, I already had it. I already had all of the material, so I didn't have to put any more money into this. So you might be thinking that, okay, now I'm saying that I definitely need to get heat in my chicken coop. Well, actually, you don't really have to. The reason why I have this heater in here, though, is specifically for our water, because obviously being sub-zero or well below 32 degrees, our watering container that we have here would freeze. And so that would mean pulling this thing out of there every single day, breaking off all of the ice, dumping the water out and refilling it up. I don't have time to do that. I physically do not have the time to do that every single day. My son is also not big enough yet. He's only 5, so he can't lift that thing up and do the chores. So the quickest and easiest solution for me would be just to get this little heat lamp, and that's why I have it. What I'm saying is, in my case, the heat lamp is mostly just for the water, so I don't have to maintain that. But generally, you don't actually need a heat lamp or a heater inside your chicken coop. If you've got one this size, it's gonna usually stay about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than the outside temperature, just because of the body heat of the chickens. And also, there's a little bit of an insulating layer down below because we've got all of our bedding stacked up. You don't really want to remove all of the bedding and take that out during the winter months. You can just let it build up. Really, dude? Jeez. Sorry about that. They are super noisy today. Must be excited to get out. As I was saying, you want to let that bedding just build up over the winter months because that's going to add an extra insulating layer. So you don't really have to clean it out during the winter months. I'm just telling you guys that to save you a little bit more time. That's our Plymouth Rock. Chickens molt, and what this means is that they're going to have... So chickens, they obviously got feathers, but they molt, and they're going to have a winter coat and a summer coat. So it's essentially like they've got a nice little protective layer during the winter months. So really, these girls are going to be good up to sub-zero temperatures just fine without a heater. Anything colder than that, and you're definitely going to want to get a heater. All right, go on. Go on. So right now outside it's about 20 degrees, but inside the coop it's well above 32 degrees. And by the way, we have Plymouth Rock chickens, Buff Orpingtons, and Olive Egger as well, just in case you all were wondering. So they've all been great. We've got the easy access nesting boxes right here. Like I said, we get about 2 to 3 eggs a day, a little bit less in the winter months because they're not going to be producing as much because of the cold, but that can be expected. Still very happy with them. So if you're worried about your chickens getting heat, that's really your answer. Sub-zero temperatures, you're going to want to get a heater, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Something rather cheap and affordable like this heat lamp will do them just fine. But if you're in an area where you don't really see temperatures that are sub-zero and you've got enough chickens where they're going to keep each other warm, anything above really 4 or 5 chickens, they'll be able to huddle together if they do get cold. But otherwise, it's a cheap investment, something easy to make your chickens a little bit happier during the winter months, and maybe can help them produce some more eggs than they would have if they didn't get any heat whatsoever. So I will make a side note. If we're working with heat lamps and straw and dry materials that is likely to combust, make sure you have that heat lamp secured very well, that the chickens are not going to knock it off of whatever is holding it up, because fires can happen, especially when we're talking about different agricultural scenarios like barns and sheds like this, and we've got straw and hay. So please, please, please be careful, especially if you live within city limits or anything like that. We want to make sure that since our city and township or village allows us to keep chickens, we want to keep the greatest reputation around them as possible. If a town starts to see fires or anything like that because people are keeping chickens and heat lamps and starting fires, that's obviously not a good thing. So make sure you use your common sense when hanging anything like that, so it's not a hazard to you, your family, or your chickens and neighbors. Be as careful as possible when it comes to these things. Well, that's it for today's video. I want to again thank you all so much for tuning into the channel. We need all of the support we can get so we can take this thing full time and provide you with high quality content on a more frequent basis than ever. So subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that bell button so you're notified of every time we come out with a video. And of course, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.